Zion Williamson is going number 1. But will the Pelicans trade the pick? Will the Grizzlies take RJ Barrett or Morant? Is Bol Bol going to the Lakers? Is Tacko Fall even going in the first round? My 2019 NBA mock draft predictions. Let's begin with the number 1 overall pick. Wait. If you're not subscribed, you're crazy. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1.6 million today. Also hit that notification bell to join Noti Gang. So every time I upload a fire video, you're not gonna miss it. Number 1, New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans will select, a trade offer? As we know, many teams will desperately try and trade for Zion. Almost none of them can make a good offer except the Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are looking to move Michael Conley. I think they will offer the number 2 overall pick and Michael Conley for the number 1 pick. But the trade is declined. The Pelicans will select Zion Williamson from Duke University. Zion's draft comparison? People are saying it's Charles Barkley. I think his draft comparison is Zion Williamson. He's a one-of-a-kind player that you can't compare to anyone else. Number 2, Memphis Grizzlies. It's between Morant and RJ Barrett. Ja is slightly better, but they already have Conley at point guard. Rumors are he's going to be traded. So if they were keeping Conley, I would say RJ Barrett, because they don't need 2 point guards. But I believe Conley will be traded, and with the number 2 overall pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Morant from Vanderbilt University. Even better, Morant's draft comparisons are D'Angelo Russell, Allen Iverson, and De'Aaron Fox, some of the fastest and most explosive point guards. Number 3, New York Knicks. It's clearly between RJ Barrett and Jarrett Culver. Fun fact, RJ Barrett was projected number 1 last year, and then Zion happened. Some people say he might still be the best player in the draft. His comparisons go from James Harden to DeMar DeRozan to some other superstar players. Those are some pretty good comparisons. But in Jarrett Culver's interview, he said he wanted to go number 3 to the Knicks. He said he was elite and should go number 3.
I just feel like on the defensive side, I'm elite.
I mean, I'd like to go number 3 overall too, but that's not how it works. So with the number 3 overall pick, the New York Knicks select RJ Barrett from Duke University. Number 4, Los Angeles Lakers. Everyone says it's between DeAndre Hunter and Darius Garland. I disagree. They either draft Jarrett Culver or they're trading the pick. Speaking of trade, we have another trade request. We all know the Lakers want Anthony Davis, and they've tried to make the trade. This is their next best opportunity. The Lakers offer their number 4 overall pick, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and next year's first-round pick for Anthony Davis. And the Pelicans just drafted Zion, so this makes perfect sense, but the Pelicans declined the trade. And with the number 4 overall pick, the Los Angeles Lakers select Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech. Jarrett Culver's draft comparison would be Paul Pierce. In my opinion, it's a little early to call him Paul Pierce, but they have similar skill sets. Number 5, Cleveland Cavaliers. DeAndre Hunter finally gets picked, one of my favorite players in the draft. He's like a young Kawhi Leonard because his defense is so underappreciated. He locked down Jarrett Culver during March Madness. Spoiler alert, that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, this isn't the flashiest pick for the Cavaliers, but with the duo of Colin Sexton and DeAndre Hunter, they have a very bright future. It's the smart pick to make. Number 6, Phoenix Suns. Poor Phoenix, they got so unlucky with the draft lottery. It's no secret that they need a point guard. Morant was their goal, but the Grizzlies already took him. Good news, the Grizzlies want to trade Michael Conley, so the Phoenix Suns are making a trade offer. Straight up, the number 6 overall pick for Michael Conley. It's a fair trade. The Suns get an all-star point guard that they desperately need, a veteran. The Grizzlies unload cap space and get another young player. But for some reason, because the NBA is weird like this, the Grizzlies decline the trade. Darius Garland is the next best point guard available, and I'm about to spill some tea. Apparently, one team made a promise to Garland. We don't know if it's the Lakers or the Suns, but I think it's Phoenix. I think they promised Garland that if he falls to number 6, they will take him. Finally, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton have a true point guard. Number 7, Chicago Bulls. The Bulls also got so unlucky. They were supposed to go top 5, but they also need a point guard because their current point guard, this guy, Ryan nope. Kobe White is their guy. The best pick and roll passer in the draft. And the Bulls have Lauri Markkanen, who need a guy like Kobe White. Not a flashy pick. He's not going to score 25 points a game. But with him, Chris Dunn, and Zach LaVine, the Bulls have their young guards for the future. Number 8, Atlanta Hawks. One of the biggest names in the draft is about to be taken. Besides Zion, every pick so far has been a guard. Joke's on them because Atlanta already has their point guard. They need a small forward. It's between Cam Reddish or Romeo Langford. Cam Reddish is the bigger name. Everybody knows who he is. Romeo Langford might be a safer pick, but he's still recovering from an injury, so I think they're gonna go with Cam Reddish. Atlanta's biggest weakness is the small forward position. This is Vince Carter's last season, and Cam Reddish can be the big name player next to Trae Young. One of the most athletic and defensive players in the whole draft. Is he a great scorer? Not really, but he doesn't need to be. Atlanta has scorers. They have a lot of scorers. What they need is a guy like Cam Reddish to glue them all together. Number 9, Washington Wizards. This is my favorite pick of the entire video. It's between Bol Bol and Sekou Doumbouya. The Wizards need a superstar, and both these players are high risk, high reward. I'm going with Bol Bol. Bol Bol's draft comparison is Kristaps Porzingis. The big risk is his durability. He's 7'2", one of the most athletic players in the league, but can he stay healthy? The Wizards won't be a contender for years, so I think they should take this risk. A big 3 of John Wall, Bradley Beal, and Bol Bol in 3 years could be incredible and could be a real playoff contender. Number 10, the Atlanta Hawks again! Remember how I said their biggest weakness was small forward? Then they got Cam Reddish with number 8. Well, their next biggest weakness is center. They need a big man to play with Trae Young. Their current big man, Mike Muscala, he's not that good. Their other big man, Alex Len, is even worse. The perfect guy is Jackson Hayes, another amazing defender. And you might be saying, Greg, who cares about defense? We want more threes. The one thing Atlanta has going for them is offense. With Cam Reddish and Jackson Hayes, this becomes a real squad. A balanced team that can actually make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. His draft comparison would be Hassan Whiteside, who in his prime was an incredible defender, incredible rebounder, so that's not bad at all. After these 2 draft picks, this would be their new starting lineup. Tell me that's not amazing. Number 11, Minnesota Timberwolves. It's either Nasir Little or once again, Sekou Doumbouya. The Timberwolves need a forward to replace Jimmy Butler. They have Robert Covington, but when he got injured, they didn't have any good replacement. For most teams, I would say take Sekou Doumbouya. But the Timberwolves are already a contender, and they don't need a raw prospect. Sorry, Sekou, but the Minnesota Timberwolves select Nasir Little from North Carolina. They're saying his draft comparison is a better version of Jeremy Grant, and Jeremy Grant is already pretty good. He was a little inconsistent in college, But when he was good, he was really good. His size and athleticism are exactly what NBA teams want. Andrew Wiggins, Nasir Little, and Karl Anthony Towns. One of the most athletic big threes in the NBA. Number 12, Charlotte Hornets. Let's see who their small forward is right now. Nicholas Batum, yeah, he's not very good anymore. So let's replace him by drafting Sekou Doumbouya. Finally, the youngest prospect in the draft gets taken. He's a small forward, and with how bad Nicholas Batum has been playing, he should immediately get minutes. He's an international player with high risk and high reward. That can mean he's the next Giannis, or he's the next this guy. Who's this guy? That's my point. Sekou's draft comparison, if everything works out, it's something in between OG Anunoby and Giannis. I'm not saying he's Giannis, but something in between those guys. But with the Hornets only having one superstar, I think they should take this risk, an all-or-nothing player. Number 13, Miami Heat. Romeo Langford. Oh, who's this guy, Greg? Well, this guy should be a top 10 pick. The only reason he's not is because he's recovering from an injury and shot only 27% from 3 last season. But considering how incredible he is at everything else, getting him at number 13 is a highway robbery by the Miami Heat. A robbery! Number 14, Roy Hachimura. In my opinion, the most interesting player in this draft class. He is the most raw prospect. Great scorer, but scouts aren't too confident how good he'll be in the big leagues. His NBA comparison would be a Paul Millsap, a little short for a power forward, but still incredible. Like most players in his situation, this guy can either be a top 10 player in the league, where everybody's gonna say, wow, how did he only go number 14? Or he'll be a bust that we all forget about. And the Boston Celtics can afford to take that risk because with Kyrie Irving leaving, they are in rebuild mode. This is the recap of the mock draft. Last video I did the 7 best teams if every player played for their college state. That video was crazy. Go watch it right now. I'll put it somewhere on the screen for you to click. Oh, by the way, I need to tell you something.